Hello viewers, and welcome to another Grid Autosport video. This time we're racing in one of the street racing cars around the streets of San Francisco. One of the circuits returning from the original Grid, and it looks fantastic. It runs really well, really nice detail improvements, and the whole environment just seems big and fun to drive. Now you're seeing me racing from the bonnet, hood, cam, which I'm finding better for me. I have tried the cockpit cams and I'll show them on another video, but I personally, for me, I'm not too keen on them. I don't find them as playable. This is good because working through these videos we're understanding the game more and more. So the handling on this car, good fun. As you can see, the stability of the cars is considerably more than we had in Grid 2. So it's not constantly sliding like crazy around every corner. It's working well for me. It's intuitive and visually very nice. The visuals, because it runs really smoothly, looks really detailed, it kind of reminds me of an arcade machine of old, and I don't really know why. It's something to do with the way the graphics are. It's much more vivid this time than the previous. More refined looking in Grid 2, and this time it's much more vivid. I like that. It looks really nice. So now closing up on the leader and see if we can close that gap right down. Still not quite getting into those apexes as I would like, but it is my first race in this car, and that's what this is all about. This is about racing in these cars and just simply learning how they drive. Braking up on the inside. Whoa, bit deep there, so right down in the first gear. Managed to stop it going into the wall. Again, we've learned something there now, so next time we come there, we'll know to brake a bit earlier. And that's what a lot of this is. This is a lot of these racing games. You know, I see people who are very good at them, and I see a lot of people who are not very good at them. And it's really just about learning braking points and picking up. Once you've done all that, you've got consistency, then it's about finding speed. But the first thing is about finding consistency and learning where those braking points are. And when you look at corners like this, you can see they're quite shallow on the map there, but how fast can you go in there? What gear can you go in there? So it's just understanding how to maximize that speed, and then eventually you realize gearing is everything, you know, because you can really maximize your speed being in a right gear that may not seem like the right gear, but it is the right one, and you can make a lot of time. So round again. Lap 3 of 4, and I've taken the lead. So what did I do here? Well, I outbraked myself here before, didn't I? So this time I'm thinking, right, I'll brake a bit earlier. That's a much wider line this time, and that worked perfectly for me. So there you go. You learn from the first lap, and you do this one, and you get better and better at it. And I thought, well, we could do it again. I could race this all again. Now I've learned certain braking points and put on a different demonstration. It'd be different, it wouldn't necessarily be better. I always like to show that learning process, because so many people don't these days, and I think it's an important part of playing games is when you first play, like you say, what are the controls, how do you play, how do you maximize your enjoyment from it as well. You know, what are you going to find when you play Grid? What are you buying Grid for? What tracks, what cars? You know, this track, this car, I love this track in Grid 1. I always just like it was so sort of rugged feeling. As we close into the hairpin, and, round there. And now closing on this final lap. So slight little incident on that corner there, but I'm just going to take it nice and slow now on this lap. Something put me off that happened away from the game there, so I seem to have a technical problem. So I thought, well, let's just finish the race now. We've got track position, so it's not like anyone's going to close up on us. But I do look forward to getting the big sort of muscle cars and bouncing around over these curbs. Certainly this was a track I had a lot of enjoyment on this particular demo build. And have I found it more fun? Yes, I have found it more fun than Grid 2. But again, I will point out the Grid 2 demo that we had early on, I actually had more enjoyment on in many ways than the final game. But that's it from this video of Grid 2. More to come shortly.